Good morning, everyone. Studfit here. It's week 2 of Mario vs. Luigi. Hope you're enjoying the tour so far. I'm about to pull on this week 2 pipe, just a little bit. But before I did, I just wanted to kind of jump into a couple different things. Hope you're enjoying these tokens, which seem like the points in whose line it is anyway. That the points don't matter. They're just literally there, and we don't have no idea what's happening. But it is kind of fun to see your tally. The only way you can see your tally is if you at least leave one item there in your token shop. So just pin that away if you haven't already maxed out all your items in your token shop. Leave one there, and you can kind of see the tally. That part's kind of fun. It would be nice if Nintendo left it going well after all the items are selected. Hey, but that's what it is. That's kind of Nintendo's thing. Almost be successful. From that standpoint, I'm going to pull in this pipe. But before I did, I wanted to jump into last week. I did cave in and get the green circuit pack and pull one time. As you remember, feel free to check out the video. But spoiler alert, I pulled 3 tenors and only got 1 high end. And as you remember, by that point, I should have received at least 2 to maybe 3 high ends by that point. So the pipe was owing me big time. And after that one pull, one more tenor, they made up for it. So I got 4 high ends in that pipe. I took my dozer to 6, which was my goal. I was very content about that. Got the safety glider. I was kind of debating on what to do when it came to using tickets. I really needed it for ranked. I had a competitor who got 91,000. I was at, and ended up getting about 92,000. I was at 92,000 myself. Knew I had to take one of my 2 gliders between the safety glider and the rainbow star chute to level 6 in order for me to be successful, because I really didn't want to use the tickets on classic Mario. So I was so happy to get this safety glider. It allowed me to just focus on one of the 2 gliders and to put the rest of my tickets into the safety glider. So it is now at 6. Kind of fun. It's not a top 10 item right now, but I looked at it. It has actually sneaky good coverage, so I was content with that. I like the bomb plus. Anyway, so from that standpoint, it was a pretty good move for me. Again, it's not top 10 right now. We'll see what happens. But and then of course I got Builder Luigi. There's a swooper in there that I got some coins for, but Builder Luigi, nice little novelty item for now, and we'll see when he comes back at a clearance aisle pipe if I get him and able to start using him. But kind of wanted to let you know I did beat the pipe. I had a very successful finish to what seemed like a left hanging type of moment with that last pipe. So good there. Going into this week 2 pipe, same as the week 1 pipe, 9 high ends, same odds there. Again, slightly better odds, for the high ends there, but decent enough that it's worth pulling on. And it's pulling only away from the normals. It's not pulling away from the supers. So when you're looking at the coins per ruby, we're talking in the 400s. It's better than the 50 pipe, even if you have all things maxed. So just keep that in the grain of salt. If you are looking for coins, either one of these 100 pipes are going to be better than the 50 pipe. Thanks, Tabor, for that. Saw ComChoose ask about it. Just wanted to mention it here in the video. So for this pipe, what do I have and what do I need? So I'll give you a hint here. I don't have anything maxed, so that's kind of why I'm pulling on it. Good coin odds here. It'd be great to get some more items. Really, it's the 9% odds that are pulling me to this pipe, and why I was able to get some more rubies. I will say Cloud Glider is what I'm going for. I thought about just come out and saying, hey, if I get the Cloud Glider, I'm just stopping at that point. That might happen. It depends on how early it goes and how lucky I'm feeling. I definitely don't want to keep pulling that one and getting 6,000 coins. Although, as you know, most of the time my coins are much higher. I'm at 73,000 coins after buying a lot of things in my shop. I had a good shop today. Ended up buying the Badwagon, which is the second time I've bought that in the last month. And ironically, I've bought the Cloud Glider twice at the inflated prices over the last 2 months. So that was interesting there, just kind of pointing that out. And then got a little high-end ticket there. Bought some of the stuff here in the in this tier shop. One thing I wanted to point out before I jumped into the pipe, it's kind of a hot topic right now just because people are starting to get to the point, especially after last week, where you're thinking about double capping things, heck, triple capping things. So I just triple uncapped my King Boo. Still cruising along there. It's at 900. It's actually kind of a grind after you get them past their their normal stop there. But King Boo is one of my favorite players, favorite characters in the game. I would love to use him this week in ranked, but I end up using him. I mean, I might use maybe Hammer Bro once or so, and maybe a fire, a red running Koopa, or I guess red Koopa free running, or maybe I love DK, and I have him double uncapped, but I just don't use him very often. He's, for whatever reason, unless it's Dino Jungle or something like that, I just don't. For whatever reason, I have something better, or and honestly, I would love, all things equal, I would love to use that giant banana. I just don't use him very often. Whereas King Boo, I seem to be using him very, very frequently. So I said, let me take it. Love Lucky 7, triple uncapped him. That's kind of fun for me. But I think a couple conversations came up in different Discords. One Discord was talking about if I had a certain number of tickets, should I even them out? Should I spread them out? When it comes to cap tickets or regular level tickets, should I spread them out amongst my Coinbox drivers, or should I all put it into one? My strategy and what I would recommend, again, there's no wrong answer. You can do it whatever you want in your own game. I know my good friend Knights put in a different Discord, showed everyone that he took his gold King Boo to, I think he triple uncapped it, so he got it to that 1400, and I think there was some general negativity, and the people didn't understand it. But here's the thing, and I think one of those people were just, I think between ComTrues and Tabor, love Tabor, love ComTrues, two of my favorite, most respected people in the game. But I think that, myself, I love the top 10 lists, and there is an ongoing top 10 thanks to Tabor, and he does a wonderful job. That is, what the current value is right now. And I think it's tough, right? Because we don't know what the future will hold. We don't know what future tours, different items will be buffed, or what might happen to them. But from that standpoint, you can only work off the information given to you. So that's what Tabor is providing, and that's what I go off of. I've double uncapped my PGP and my gold Koopa, gold Dry Bones, because they're both arguably 1A and 1B when it comes to top two drivers. But I think one of the things I wanted to point out, say for Gold King Boo, his tracks, he doesn't have that many tracks right now. So it doesn't make sense right now in this moment to double uncap him, triple uncap him. But they're going to keep adding him. So a lot of newer, especially because everyone has them for Gold Pass, they're going to continue to add new tracks to him. Especially, I think the tracks that they're going to add are going to be new tracks, right? So you're thinking, hey, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the Sunset Wilds RT, and I'm having to use Classic Mario. And again, these are the tough situations people have to use middle shelf and have difficulties. There's a good chance that probably King Boo Gold is probably going to get a new track that you may not have other drivers for than somebody else. So that was kind of his mentality, and I get it, and I actually think it's not a bad move, especially if you like the character, because ultimately it's something that you it's a game that you like playing, and you want to use the characters that you want to use playing. So again, this is more of a future use of your tickets. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I think that over the period of time between now and when Gold King Boo, say as an example, gets value, you'll be able to collect tickets, and in that meantime, you're not having to be hurt being behind when it comes to not being where everyone else is and getting beat out by your ranks. I think these cap tickets, there's a reason why they cost more in the shop than the level tickets. It's because they actually can improve your score more than a level ticket in many scenarios. Now again, when you're looking at the math, it may not make sense, but the base points, once you get that multiplied, it expounds upon itself. So again, this is one strategy, is to improve on future value. I wanted to explain it. That is a strategy. I would probably more of the current value. I would probably wait until his value is there, then capitalize on it. To each their own. There are different strategies, and not one's better than the rest. I just prefer work off of Tabor's list. Love that list. Keep going off that. I did notice somebody had mentioned taking up their Shy Guy Gold. I don't know if that's and double capping him or triple capping him. These are probably, if I can make any recommendation, it would be, not necessarily to make that move. It would be invest in your Coinbox drivers. And I kind of had a discussion on a different Discord with somebody else about, hey, should I pull on this 50 pipe or use, actually I think it was here on my YouTube channel, somebody, Adam, I think he was, been very, very interactive here on the YouTube channel, mentioned, hey, should I spread tickets around or should I put it in one? I really want to point this out, and this is kind of one big takeaway I want to mention. With Coinbox drivers, getting your Coinbox drivers to level 4 is key. Getting that red coin is so imperative. So I kind of use the example of, let's say you have all 6 Coinbox drivers at level 1. You're given 10 tickets. What do? My goal, my recommendation would be to put 4 tickets on 2 of the drivers to make sure that you get 2 of them to level 4. Get that red coin. That red coin is key because you get that double action there. That's gonna be optimal. And then of course putting base coin. My recommendation would be put as many of those base and cap tickets onto the Coinbox drivers. I mean, I put one on Black Yoshi mainly because he has such variety of tracks, stuff that doesn't overlap with the Coinbox drivers. But I'm probably not going to double cap him, and that's just me. But I'm looking at as I'm I think one more cap ticket away from taking something to level to double cap another driver. I'm gonna do another Coinbox driver. I haven't decided which one yet. I think I'm not entirely sure, so I don't even want to really put out in there in the universe. But might be someone like Gold Cooper Free Running or something that has a little bit of a unique, different track. But I don't know yet. But my main point is focus on the Coinbox drivers when you're using these tickets. You have a lot of tickets now. It's fun. It's exciting to double cap stuff, but just want to make sure you don't regret it later. And hopefully that's one good takeaway. With that being said, time to actually pull on this pipe. Hopefully you enjoy these conversations before I pull. It's like my one time that I can get stuff out in the universe. Sometimes I put stuff in Discords, and then stuff fills up, and next thing you know, it's lost in the universe. So this is my one way to put stuff out there, and I appreciate all your feedback and recommending me to continue doing these. Oh, you know what? I'll start with the free pipes that we have, and let's see what we get. Hopes are low, but again, with 9%, they're higher than most of the free pipes. And it's a green. Again, high hopes, low expectations, as always. All right, so we have a common, and I think we'll see here if we get another common. Oh my goodness! If this is a cloud glider, okay. Incredible. Cool. All right. He actually was one of my first tie-ins. As I mentioned, I started in April. I think I got the end of maybe the detective tour, and I think he might have been my first tie-in. I'm not entirely sure. They don't have dates on any of the items that I have, but that's very cool. I'm going to reset there, as you probably can tell, but that's pretty cool to start out with a high-end driver. Now, again, not one that I'd use very often. That triple mushroom is nice, though. I actually prefer that over the fireball that comes with Wario Cowboy. All right, so we're going to go in here, and as I mentioned, my main goal is to get the cloud glider. I actually like the carts. Carts would be nice. Those would be fun. Also, make sure while we're looking at this green pipe, make sure to take a look at Sammy D's Kart Life video here recently where he talks about rubies going into the rest of the year and planning accordingly. It is interesting to see these very tempting 9 high-end pipes and getting excited about them and pulling on them. It might be a trend that we see maybe every other pipe that we have includes like a higher 9 rate. We don't know. So it's going to be more and more tempting, especially as they seem to be, at least frequently with the anniversary tour and gold pipes and this, they seem to be throwing Coinbox drivers at us for what it's worth. So it's going to be much more tempting. The New Year's pipe is most likely going to be a great pipe. It's going to be probably similar to some of the other great pipes we've seen recently, and feel free to watch the top 10 pipes video that Tabor and I put together, I guess now a month ago, for what it's worth. But yeah, just keep your keep your rubies in store for that. That should be a really nice pipe. Especially as we get through the holiday. I'm not a big holiday item fan. I don't think they hold value very well. I mean, I went in for Mario Halloween just because he used Lucky 7. He looks pretty cool, but I have no expectations for him. I probably will never use him until I get him to a little higher level. And it's a boring green pipe. That's okay. I have 13 10 pulls ready here, so if I go in just once and get everything, I'm content here. But with 2 green pipes, again, hey, maybe this is just a word to the wise, right? So you're excited about this pipe, the 9 odds, and you're like, hey, why don't I go in? I have enough for 2 pulls. If you did these 2 pulls, you would be very upset. Had a good conversation with Dr. David Reedy here on the Discord, and his mentality was, a little bit more like, hey, I'm going to waste the first 10 pull. How do I feel about that second pull? Do I feel good about it, or do I feel like it's still up in the air? It's still a coin flip, because that's the case in a lot of these pipes. This one happened to be a good one for me, but just kind of keep that in the back of your mind, and this could happen to you. You're not guaranteed. Just because it's 9% doesn't mean that you're guaranteed 1 for every 10 pull. So even though the main reason being is it's a 100 pipe. We know how we feel about these 100 pipes. I prefer the 50 pipes. I have more control. If I make a mistake, if I get a green pipe, the end of the pipe, the clear is within the sight, which makes things nice. So getting this up to level 3. This is nice. I like this cart in general. I believe this is the one, dash panel plus. Decent. I think the dash panel plus is a little sneaky as a skill. I'll mention why. So last week, you all got done with ranked. You probably never want to see it again, but Mario Circuit RT, the one around Peach's Castle. You remember? I had Wild Black at level 6 uncapped, and I had Dasher Dozer, thankfully, from last week's pull, 1 uncapped. And I actually did the math of what it would make sense for me to use based on the math. And what I did is I counted the number of dash panels, which were, I think, 10 that I used. And then I just used a small sample. How many mini turbos would I do? There were about 17. And so I did the math. The difference between mini turbo and mini turbo plus was about 4 points. So you multiply that by, 17 versus a dash panel plus, which I think was 40-point difference. I have it written down. I don't want to show you because it's deep inside my notes. But I think it was like a 40-point difference. It might be 35. But anyway, I did that times 10 and realized there was about a 100-point difference. It was, I think, 65 versus 168 difference in just base points there. Then you get multipliers going. So I ended up going to Dasher versus over Wild Black, obviously the whale car, because I knew it would get me more points by doing the math. And so it's really important to just kind of think through these things. Dash Panel Plus is not a bad skill in the right course. One of the things that people sometimes forget is, on these RT tracks, we think, oh, it's got to be jump boost. And jump boost is awesome. But mini turbo might not actually be very good in this tour. Something like Dash Panel Plus, where you have the dash panels on those jump boosts to kind of give you a little kick there. There's actually more of those than probably some of your mini turbos, especially when you actually do the points, which is just a 4-point difference. So keep that in mind. Dash Panel Plus can be good on these RT tracks, and so just do the math. Do a couple runs and say, hey. And Tabor does a good job of, he actually keeps a separate tab for number of mini turbos, mini turbos that he thinks you're going to do in a spreadsheet. Wow, that's awesome. A level 4 cheap mask. That is fantastic. That's actually the one glad I don't have very high, and I've said if I get any, that's it. So I'm very, very happy there. Especially considering how many green pipes it's taken me to get to this point. So happy there. Thank you, Mario Kart gods. Okay. So again, just do the math. Dash Panel Plus might make sense for a specific track, but each track is different. Look at Tabor's spreadsheet to see how many are there and what you need in order to capitalize on that. So now I'm 4 pools deep. 2 high ends, I believe. It's okay to check. Last thing you want to do is reset or pull after you didn't mean to. Yeah, so we got 2 high ends. Man, this pipe owes me. We're going to be in for a big one. I mean, it's just math. And that's the thing about these pipe pulls, man. It's. I'm not going off of. I mean, this game is all about luck. There's no doubt about that. This isn't about like fastest run. This isn't about average runs. This is literally about, hey, on a freak accident, what is your freakishly best score for that track? So, oh, here we go. Got a driver. Bus driver Luigi to level 3. Walla 3G. That was lame. Okay. Yeah, so again, this game's all about luck, and literally the whole game is based around frenzy luck and getting it on some freak accident run that you get and comparing freak accident runs against each other. That is this game. So much revolves around luck. The one thing that I focus on is these pipes are luck in small sample size. Overpopulations of data, this is not luck. I'm going in, I'm thinking about the math, I'm trying to beat the pipe. That is my goal. I've gotten 3 high ends so far. The pipe still owes me big time. At this point in time, I should have had 4.5 really, out of the 9, because I'm halfway through. So I'm still going. I was fully expecting that. If I just got one about all the items, and this is why I don't do a lot of 100 pipes, because it's not quite as fun. There's less resetting. I mean, you saw last time though, I was resetting like crazy. Bull bill, parachute, level 2, like that. With most of my gliders, I have a lot of gliders at 3+, so to have him at 2, it is what it is. We'll hope to get him in other items or other times in this game. But it's nice he's in here. I'm glad they brought him back. It was one of the last gliders to get to fill out my little Rolodex there. So this is awesome. Level 4 for the Platinum Taxi. This is that mini Turbo Plus. So you gotta love that, man. Level 4. I'm excited about using that. I think I might be using it for ranked this week. That the Rainbow Road track this week. Very weird that they have a lot of unique drivers, karts, and gliders. I don't have very many of them high, and that's why I'm going for this Cloud Glider to get it to level 6, mainly for ranked, and mainly so I don't have to spend another 25,000 to try to get it. Which actually brings up another topic. All right, so I've gotten 2 here. No Cloud Glider though, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 40. I'm right there on the cusp of technically beating the pipe. But I want that Cloud Glider, man. Give me that Cloud Glider. Give me what I want. And of course, I get a green pipe. That's how the cookie crumbles. All right, so one thing I was mentioning is I think a lot of people focus on in their shop buying, getting their high ends to level 6. Don't worry about that. If you don't get Pauline to level 6, again, Pauline's an exception because she's inflated. But let's say the Bad Wagon. That's a great example because I had it in my shop today. Pauline's a terrible example because you want that out of your shop. But Bad Wagon, right? So what's the purpose of trying to get that max and getting it out of your shop if you can pay 10,000 and get another level for it? So don't worry necessarily about that. You might even want to wait on like getting a super to level 6. A swooper to level 6, or waiting to get, not necessarily a Gold Glider because it is so valuable, but I think you get the point, a Metal Mario or Ice Mario, whatever comes there in the daily selects, on that end. Peachette is a great example. Don't use tickets on a Peachette. Don't worry about getting Peachette to level 6. You'll be able to get her many, many times. She's in this permanent pipe. She's been in this 100 pipe. She's really not very valuable. And then you can keep getting her in a shop. What you need to focus on is, getting those supers to level 6 first. These comments you'll get pretty frequently in these pipe, and you'll get them. But start with your gliders, get the supers maxed up, but do not worry about those high-end gliders or those high-end items in your shop. just because they're high end, I think a lot of people think, oh, if I get all these high end level 6 to these high end shop items to level 6, then I get more high end tickets. It doesn't work like that. If you have something maxed and that gets triggered in their system, whoop, here's a ticket, and here's a high end ticket, and it allows you to be able. Or here's a ticket for anything. But the odds of getting a high end ticket, in my opinion, is the same for a maxed out super as a maxed out high end. So why not just get a bandwagon for 10,000 coins and call it a day later on? Again, I've had the rest of my supers and commons maxed in my shop for now 3 or 4 months. So, hey, yeah, keep the bandwagons coming through. I've had to buy this Cloud Glider mainly because I was sitting on so many coins and just kind of frustrated with my shop being shut down. But I'm hoping that may not be the case for me. I'd love to get this Cloud Glider. Just in general, it's a great glider, and it seems like it's got great coverage. Mainly because, as I mentioned before, when items are more frequently available to the public through permanent pipes or through shops, Nintendo knows that more people have it, and so they feature it a little bit more often than stuff that they normally have. As I think my favorite example is Cheap Masks versus the Festival Glider, which came out at the same time, and you see Cheap Masks much more valuable, and it's in the permanent pipe, and that's kind of why. All right, so we have a gold pipe. I am praying to God this is the one that pops, and here it is. Wario Cowboy. Oh my gosh! Talking of this little demon lady, Peachette, not a big fan of her whatsoever. Even the Mushroom Cannon Plus, not that great comparatively. I was really expecting Wario Cowboy, as you heard, because he's got to be here. We've almost drained this thing. Okay. Green circuit. All right. I guess buying that, getting that pack didn't hurt me after all. In fact, I think it's in ranked this week for Luigi's Mansion. So might get that, might get another pack there. All right, so I have 10 here. 10, you kidding me? Oh, 10 and 2 high ends, including the one I wanted. So this would be a good example. This is a scenario. It might make sense for me to do single pulls the rest of the way. So I'm going to do it because that's the best strategy from a mathematical standpoint. And here I am. Boom. This is math, baby. Hate it or love it. It's how the world works. And there we go. Cloud Glider to level 6. About freaking time. All right, I can't leave a high end in there. Hopefully it's not the last one. Math would say to keep pulling, so I'm gonna keep pulling these single pulls. I listen to math. Math's my friend. Math could also make me look really dumb right now. There we go. All right. Beat this pipe, not soundly, barely. Is it Peachette? No, of course. It's Wario Cowboy to level 3. That was fun. Okay, so I have a couple more rubies left. I'll get in saving mode now. That was fun. All right, well, hey, man, that was... We talked a lot about that. I was going to go into my my Kart inventory, but man, that was a lot of content. I probably oversaturated you with too much information. But again, just as a recap, keep that one item in your shop. A lot of other topics we discuss, some that I've reiterated from times past, and some new ones. But hope that helps. Hopefully, good luck as you're going into this Mario versus Luigi Week 2, and go Luigi!